will be Jamie Gray, Chick Chick Boom. 203, Jeff Wallen, Coolum Isabel. 204, Megan McIntosh, AMAC Melody Man. 205 will be Toby Rofe, Holly. 206, Jared Fitzpatrick, Good as Gold. 207, Kelly Eagles, One Stylish Tat rather. 208, Claire Holm on Tax Evader. 209 will be Billy Elliott Burt. And 210, Anthony Robinson, Hard Hat Colonial. So only moments away from our start. We'll get our judges back in place and our scorers, and we will be underway. Everyone's good to go. 201 in camp now, looking over his cattle, is Matt Holt riding Paris Reims. We saw Matt win this event in 2022, and we wish him luck here today on Paris Reims. This is a 10-year-old gelding. He's an open horse and owned by Glenn Stevenson. Matt has made the trip from Burrumbuttock. Standby 202, Jamie Gray, Chick Chick Boom. Likewise 203, Jeff Wallen and Coolum Isabel. Looking for a second peg now. This is 201, Matt Holtz and Paris Reims. 202 moves into the yard, Jamie Gray, Chick Chick Boom. Standby 203, Jeff Wallen and Coolum Isabel. That's time, judges. Time, thank you. We'll have a score through for Matty Holtz and Paris Reims shortly from our three judges.
Our last competitor number 201, Mr. Matt Holt, scoring 22 for cutout, 54 for horsework, and another 3 course points there, Matt. Grand total, 79 points. 79 points grand total there for your run here this morning. Competitor number 202, you're watching Jamie Gray, riding his nomination in Chick Chick Boom. Waiting at the gate will be number 203, Jeff Wallen with Coolum Isabel.
In camp now, competitor number 203 is Jeff Wallen riding Coolum Isabel. Jeff's made the trek down from up there in the Lockyer Waters in Queensland. Following Jeff, we will have 204 Megan McIntosh, AMAC Melody Man. 205 Toby Rofe, standby on Holly. Likewise 206 Jared Fitzpatrick, Good as Gold. 207 it'll be Kelly Eagles, One Stylish Tat. And 208 Claire Holm on Tax Evader. Outside, though, we are watching competitor number 203, Jeff Wallen, riding Coolum Isabel. Isabel's a 16-year-old mare. She's won a couple of novices and placed in opens. She's a very competitive mare and always gives her best. Today, though, for Jeff Wallen and Coolum Isabel, we'll have a cutout score only coming through for you shortly. We'll catch you up on some scores shortly, folks. We'll get a bit of technology happening. For now, though, we're watching Warra competitor Megan McIntosh, number 204. Megan is riding AMAC Melody Man. Warra competitor we watch, competitor number 204, Megan McIntosh and AMAC Melody Man, coming around your second peg there. Toby Rofe moves into the yard, competitor number 205 on Holly, standby 206, Jared Fitzpatrick. Thanks, Megs. We'll have a score coming through for Megan McIntosh and AMAC Melody Man.
So just recapping back on some scores there. Competitor number 202, Jamie Gray with Chick Boom, scoring a 21 for the cutout, 21. No further points there for Jamie. Competitor number 203, Jeff Wallen with Coolum Isabel, scoring a 21.67 cutout. Unfortunately, no further points there either this go round. And Megan scored. Megan McIntosh with AMAC Melody Man, scoring a 21.67 for cutout, 63 for horsework, a further 4 course points, grand total 88.67 point round. 88.67 points for Megan McIntosh with AMAC Melody Man. You're watching Toby Rolfe with Holly. Waiting at the gate will be 206, Jared Fitzpatrick with Good as Gold.
On the course for Toby Rolfe, Sutton Forest competitor, riding Holly. Holly's a 14-year-old maiden mare by Heatwave out of a Robin Hood mare. She's made multiple finals. She's run a couple of seconds and thirds this year, so we wish them well here today in this first round of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle Campdraft. This is competitor number 205, Toby Rolfe, riding his entry, Holly. Jared Fitzpatrick rides onto the course riding Good as Gold. Standby number 207, Kelly Eagles, One Stylish Tat. 208, Claire Holm, Tax Evader. 209, Billy Elliott's Burt. 210, Anthony Robinson, Hard Hat Colonial. 211, Terry Hall, Hazelwood Company Jewels. And 212, Karen Gardner, Cahoots Not Happy Jan. Thanks, Toby. We'll have a score coming through shortly for Toby Rolfe and Holly.
Last competitor, competitor number 205, Toby Rolfe with Holly, scoring 21 for cutout, 58.67 for horsework, a further 4 course points, grand total 83.67 point round. In on camp now, we have 206, Jared Fitzpatrick. Riding the nomination in Good as Gold. 207, be ready, Kelly Eagles with One Stylish Tat. Once again, a big thank you to our 3 gold buckle judges here this week, Mr. Mark Ruff, Rodney McKinnon and Mr. Peter Dowling. So a lot of thank yous from all here for sparing your time to come down and adjudicate and swing the whip at this prestige event. So thank you all 3 judges and families.
And on course we watch 206, Jared Fitzpatrick riding Kate and Gerald Tui's entry in Good as Gold. Good as Gold's a 10-year-old mare, and Jared comes to us from Bacchus Marsh. Camp Drafting Highlight has been winning his first open draft at his local competition there at Bacchus Marsh, so we wish them well as they head across between the second peg and the gate. This is competitor number 206, Jared Fitzpatrick and Good as Gold. Into the camp will be 207, Kelly Eagles, One Stylish Tat. Standby 208, Claire Holm on Tax Evader. That's time, thank you. Time, judges. We'll have a score shortly for 206, Jared Fitzpatrick, Good as Gold. Looking over her cattle now, this is competitor number 207, Kelly Eagles, riding One Stylish Tat. Kelly comes from Royala, and One Stylish Tat is a 13-year-old One Stylish Pepto man. Following Kelly, we'll have 208, Claire Holm, Tax Evader. 209 will be Billy Elliott's Burt. 210, Anthony Robinson, Hard Hat Colonial. 211, Terry Hall, Hazelwood Company Jewels. 212, Karen Gardner on Cahoots, Not Happy Jan. 213, we'll see Hugh Miles and Fantasy. 214, Morris Gray, Emu Gully Barton. And 215 will be Troy Palmer and Blue Tunes. Working in the camp now, though, we watch 207, Kelly Eagles and One Stylish Tat. Big thank you to Wayne McDonnell and his team looking after the beautiful surface here at the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Everyone would agree the arena is magnificent, and Mac and his team look after us across the course of the weekend, dragging every 100 and making sure the surface is nice for our horses and to look after the cattle.
Last competitor, unfortunately, 207, Kelly Eagles with One Stylish Tat. Goes out with a no score at this stage. The camp is clear. We require competitor number 208, Claire Holm with Tax Evader. Number 209 will be Billy Elliott and Burt. And number 210, Anthony Robinson with Hard Hat Colonial. Competitor number 206, Jared Fitzpatrick with Good as Gold, scoring a 20 for cutout, 52.33 with a horsework and another 3 course points. That'll be a grand total of 75.33 for Jared Fitzpatrick and Good as Gold. You're watching now competitor number 208, Claire Holm with Tax Evader. Billy Elliott, you number 209 with Burt. Number 210 will be Anthony Robinson with Hard Hat Colonial, and number 211 be Mr. Terry Hall with Hazelwood Company Jewel.
On Corso, we're watching competitor number 208, Claire Holm, riding Tax Evader. Tax Evader is a 16-year-old gelding by Hot Little Teddy out of Tax Evader indeed, himself. And a 4-pointer on the board there for Claire Holm and Tax Evader. We'll have a score through for you, Claire. 209 we move our attention to, Billy Elliott riding Burt. 210 standby Anthony Robinson, likewise 211 Terry Hall and Company Jewels.
Competitor number 208, Claire Holm and Tax Evader, scoring a 20-point for cutout, 59 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 83-point round. 83 points there for Claire Holm and Tax Evader. You are watching outside now, competitor number 209, Billy Elliott, riding a horse called Burt. 210 on the camp, please. Anthony Robinson with Hard Hat Colonial. Terry Hall, you be ready. You are number 211.
We'll have a score there for Billy Elliott shortly, but for now we turn our attention to competitor number 210, Anthony Robinson, riding Hard Hat Colonel. Hard Hat Colonel is a mare by Hard Hat Henry and owned by Anthony himself, who's made the trip down from Tamworth. 211 will be Terry Hall, Hazelwood Company Jewels, please stand by. 212, Karen Gardner, Cahoots Not Happy Jan. 213, Hugh Miles Fantasy. 214, Morris Gray on Emu Gully Barton. 215 will see Troy Palmer on Blue Tunes. 216, David Murphy, Mobile Price Tag. 217 will be Pete Comiskey on Brittany. 218, Jim Lawton and Orchie. Outside working now, though, this is competitor number 210 from Tamworth, Anthony Robinson and Hard Hat Colonial.
Previous competitor number 209, Billy Elliott, scoring a 21-point cutout. Unfortunately, no further points, so 21 points for Billy Elliott and Burr. And we'll leave that one up to the judge. Last competitor number 210, Anthony Robinson with Hard Hat Colonial, scoring 20 for cutout, 57 for horsework for the three course points, grand total 80 points. 80 points for Anthony Robinson, Hard Hat Colonial.
Terry Hall, we watch competitor number 211, riding Hazelwood Company Jewels, a mare owned by Terry and Chris Hall. She is by Hazelwood Comman, and out of that mare we also saw win Tassa Little Jewel. Terry's made the trip down from Gundawindi. Following Terry, 212, Karen Gardner, standby. 213, Hugh Miles and Fantasy. 214 will be Morris Gray, and 215, Troy Palmer. On course though, heading around his second peg, this is competitor number 211, Terry Hall, riding Hazelwood Company Jewels. And it's as easy as that. We'll have a score coming through for you there, Terry, for Terry Hall and Company Jewels. 212 looking over her cattle now. This is Karen Gardner and Cahoots Not Happy Jan. Not Happy Jan is a 10-year-old mare by CK Pepico and out of Bunda Bangi. She is a novice mare and campaigned here by Karen Gardner, who's made the trip from Cooma.
Last competitor number 211, Terry Hall with Hazelwood Company Jewels, scoring 21.33 for cutout. 60 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Terry. Grand total 85.33. 85.33 points for Terry Hall and Hazelwood Company Jewel. Heidi, as you mentioned, competitor number 212, Karen Gardner with Cahoots Not Happy Jan in camp, waiting at the gate in form. Hugh Miles and Fantasy is competitor number 213. And talking about distances, Heidi, how good is it to see we've got competitors here from the tip of Australia to the most southern parts? I don't think we've got any from across the waters, but we've certainly got some horses here that have come from across the waters. So it is good to see those the horse flesh that we have come here and compete for this Warlinga Park Gold Buckle.
And a pretty good demo of good camp drafting going on here. We've got another 4-pointer on the board for Karen Gardner and Cahoots Not Happy Jan. We'll get a score from our 3 judges while we turn our attention to competitor number 213, Hugh Miles, riding Fantasy on behalf of Joel and Belinda Fleming of Tamworth. Fantasy is a novice mare by Acres Destiny, a well-campaigned mare. We'll get to see Belinda run this mare in the ladies later on in the week. Hugh's had a few runs already today and had some great successes. We saw a great interview with him in the break, and we wish him well on this occasion. Hugh Miles riding Fantasy, competitor number 213. Please stand by. 214 Morris Gray on Emu Gully Barton, and 215 Troy Palmer Blue Tunes.
Last competitor number 212, Kieran Gardner with Cahoots Not Happy Jan scoring 19.33 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total of 84.33 points. You're watching outside, going around the second peg as we speak, Mr. Hugh Miles with Belinda and Joel Fleming's Fantasy is competitor number 213. 214, Morris Gray, Emu Gully Barton onto the camp. Troy Palmer, you're number 215 with Inform Blue Tunes. Can't see your name on the list, my friend. Tell you what, though, you won't mind it. Competitor number 213, Hugh Miles, riding Joel and Belinda Fleming's horse nomination Fantasy, scoring 21.33 for cutout, 63 for horsework, a further 4 course points, grand total 88.33 full round score. In on camp now, 214, Morris Gray, Emu Gully Barton. Troy Palmer, you be ready. You are number 215 with Blue Tunes. Number 216 will be David Murphy with Mobile Price Tag.
Competitor number 214, Morris Gray and Emu Gully Barton go out with a cutout score of 16.67. 16.67 for Morris Gray and Emu Gully Barton. We move our attention to cooler competitor Troy Palmer, riding Blue Tunes. As Beardy said, an informed mare. She's a 9-year-old mare by I'm a Smooth Blue Cat and out of EB's Eucalypt. She was a 2021 ABCRA Rookie Horse of the Year. She's won Opens and placed second at the Sydney Royal Championship Draft in both 2022 and 2023. She's owned by Troy and Fee. Troy, as we know, is a member of the Willinga Park team, been involved since the inception of this wonderful concept, and we thank him and Fiona for their efforts in welcoming us all here. This is competitor number 215, Troy Palmer, riding Blue Tunes. David Murphy, stand by, 216, Mobile Price Tag, and 217, Pete Comiskey, Brittany. 218 will be Jim Lawton's Orchie, 219, Pat Hardwick, Cool Runnings, 220, Peter Cookson, Ripple, 221, Alana Chamberlain, Smart Spin and Aces, and 222 will be Tommy Williamson and More Karma. On course proper though, this is competitor number 215, Troy Palmer, riding Blue Tunes.
As you mentioned, Heidi, as we just mentioned about being informed just last weekend, this weekend just gone, this particular mare, this combination taking out the Open for Open down there at Cowra, as well as the Open Draft with 91s and 92s all weekend. So there you have it, there's a mare and a partnership that's well informed. Last competitor, competitor 215, Troy Palmer and Blue Tunes, 22.67 for cutout, 62.67 for horsework, a further 4 course points there, Troy. Grand total, 89.33 points. 89.33 point round. In on camp now, competitor number 216, David Murphy with Mobile Price Tag. Number 217, Pete Comiskey with Brittany. 218 will be Jim Lawton and Orchie, and number 219, Pat Hardwick with Cool Runnings.
On course for 216, David Murphy riding Mobile Price Tag. They come to us from Talbot in Victoria. Mobile Price Tag is a stallion and won the champion SCA Open horse. He's also won 15 camp drafts. David Murphy is an SCA champion open rider and has won many horse titles. We wish them well as they head around that second peg, trying to put together a full course in this first round of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle Camp Draft. And does just that. We'll have a score shortly for David Murphy and Mobile Price Tag, competitor number 216.
Last competitor, competitor number 216, David Murphy, with mobile price tag scoring a 21 for cutout, 61.67 worth of horsework and another 4 course points. That'll be a grand total of 86.67. 86.67 round score for David Murphy and price tag. You're watching outside now, competitor number 217, Peter Comiskey with Brittany. Number 218, Jim Lawton, you be in the camp, please, with Orchie.
For those following along at home, 217 that we watch, Pete Comiskey riding Brittany. This is a previous winning combination of this Wollonga Park Gold Buckle. Pete's been successful in winning this event on 2 occasions, in fact, with half-sisters. With this particular mare is a Conman mare, out of that great mare we saw in Roni's Checks. Nicely done, Pete. You started the weekend right for Brittany, and Pete Comiskey will have a score for you shortly. 218 is in the camp, Jim Lawton riding Orchie. Jim will be followed by 219, Pat Hardwick, Cool Runnings. Pete Cookson, you'll be 220 on Ripple. Stand by 221, Alana Chamberlain, Smart Spinnin' Aces.
Last competitor, competitor number 217, Pete Comiskey with Brittany, scoring a 21.33 for cutout, 62.33 worth of horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 87.67 points. 87.67 for Peter Comiskey and Brittany. You're on camp now, you're watching competitor number 218, Jim Lawton and Orchie, and number 29, be ready, Pat Hardwick with Cool Runnings. Number 220 will be Peter Cookson and Ripple, and number 221 will be Alana Chamberlain with Smart Spinnin' Aces. Once again, these events cannot be run without the partnering with the sponsors throughout the weekend. So a big thank you to all our sponsors, but I would love to thank the naming rights partners here, Ringers Western, for the support of providing Wollonga Park and their quality merchandise and uniforms. Also, another partner there that I'd like to acknowledge would be Foresight for the support and providing the quality joint supplements for not only the equine and the canine friends, but also for the humans. I'd also like to thank the competition partners for the ladies' dash for cash, Pilatus Aircraft. Big thank you to those guys, and I'd like to also thank other major partners in Shepherd Electrical, His Way, Vero Galleria, and Bannisters Hotel in Mollymook. Once again, big thank you to all those sponsors for providing the partnership that you provide to help make these events happen.
Our last competitor, Jim Lawton, 218, and Orchie went out with a 15 for cutout, 15 points for Jim Lawton and Orchie. 219 working in the camp now. This is Pat Hardwick and Cool Runnings. Pat will be followed by 220, Peter Cookson and Ripple. Stand by 221, Alana Chamberlain, Smart Spinnin' Aces. 222, Tommy Williamson, More Karma. 223, Bevan Reid, Shiloh. 224, Kimberley Salmon, Banshee Conai. 225, Ben Matem's Elsie Bon Jovi. 226, Charles Taps 2 Up. 227, David Thorne, Miss Scarlet Acres. 228 will be Josh Gibson, Dual Smart Cat. 229, Damien Ventry and Wollonga Park Delta. And 230, Laura McNaughton and Cuban Cigars.
Last competitor, competitor number 219, Pat Hardwick with Cool Running, scoring 20.67 for cutout, 56.33 for horsework, further 3 course points, grand total 80.33. In on camp now, we should have competitor number 220, Peter Cookson with Ripple, 221, Alana Chamberlain with Smart Spinnin' Aces, and 222 will be Tommy Williamson with More Come.
Rightio, score for competitor number 219, Pat Hardwick, riding Cool Runnings, 20.67 for cutout, 56.33 for horsework, 3 for the course for a total of 80. So 20.67, 56.33 and 3 for a total of 80 points for Pat Hardwick and Cool Runnings. Cutout score for Peter Cookson was 16.33. Competitor number 220, Peter Cookson and Ripple, had a 16.33 for cutout. We're watching on course now. Competitor number 221, Alana Chamberlain, riding Smart Spinnin' Aces. Alana will be followed by Tommy Williamson and More Karma. Stand by 223, Bevan Reid and Shiloh.
Last competitor, competitor number 221, Alana Chamberlain with Smart Spinnin' Aces, scoring cutout score 20.33 points. 20.33, unfortunately no further points there, Alana. Competitor number 222, now you're watching Mr. Tom Williamson riding his nomination, More Karma. Number 223 will be Bevan Reid and Shiloh. 224, Kimberly Salmon and Banshee Conai.
Doing a good job out here. This is Tommy Williamson, one of our young competitors. Only 17 years of age, made the trip down from Glen Innes with his family. We'll have a score for you shortly. Tommy Williamson, competitor number 222. In camp now, competitor number 223 is Bevan Reid and Shiloh. Bevan will be followed by 224, Kimberly Salmon and Conai. Stand by 225, Ben Matum, Elsie Bon Jovi.
Last competitor, competitor number 222, Tommy Williamson with More Karma, scoring a 20.67 for cutout. 60 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Tommy. Grand total 84.67 points. 84.67 for Tommy Williamson and More Karma. In on camp, you're watching 223, Bevan Reid with Shiloh. 224, Kimberly Salmon, you be ready with Banshee Conai.
On course for competitor number 223, Bevan Reid, riding Shiloh. Bevan comes from Delegate. Shiloh is a 13-year-old mare. One of Bevan's favourite camp drafting memories is competing here at Willinga, and we can't blame him for that. No better facility in the country, and we're very lucky to be chasing such lovely cattle. We're grateful to the Willinga team, Mr. Terry Snow, for this wonderful line of Hereford cattle for us to chase this week. Thanks, Bevan. A score will come through for Bevan Reid and Shiloh. Kimberly Salmon moves into the yard, competitor number 224, riding Banshee Conai. Sarah Campbell's nomination. 225 will follow, Ben Matum, Elsie Bon Jovi. 226, Charles Taps, 2 up. 227, David Thorne, Miss Scarlet Acres. 228, Josh Gibson's Dual Smart Cat. And 229, Damien Ventry, Willinga Park Delta.
Last competitor, Bevan Reid at 223 with Shiloh scoring 21.33 for cutout. 61 for horsework, another 4 course points. Grand total 86.33. 86.33 points for Shiloh and Bevan Reid. You are watching now competitor number 224, Kimberly Salmon, Banshee Conai. Closely followed by 225, Ben Matum with Elsie Bon Jovi. And as we mentioned there before, Heidi, what an opportunity and what a privilege it is to be here and witness some of the best horse flesh you can see across the country, chasing some of these beautifully bred cattle. So a big credit to Terry Snow and family and all the team at Willinga Park that put this event together and get to witness some of the finest camp drafting you will see across the countryside.
Heading around and looking for a gate. This is 224, Kimberley Salmon, riding Sarah and Sam Campbell's entry, Banshee Conai. Kimberley's one of the more decorated lady competitors in our sport, and we thank her for making the trip down from Bow Desert. We'll have a score for you shortly, Kimbo. 225, there's a change of yard, and Ben Mayton will receive that, riding Elsie Bon Jovi. 226, stand by Charles Tapp, and 2 up, likewise 227, David Thorne, Miss Scarlet Acres.
Competitor number 224, Kimberley Salmon with Banshee Conai, scoring a 23-point cutout, a 61 for the horsework. Further 4 course points, that'll be a grand total of 88 points. 88-point round there for Kimberley Salmon. In on camp now with a nice new fresh yard of cattle. Mr. Ben Maidham at 225, riding a nomination, Elsie Bon Jovi. Charles Tapp, you're number 226 with 2 up. Can you be at the gate? David Thorne, don't be far away. You are number 227 with Miss Scarlet Acres.
Ben Mayton's made his selection, riding Elsie Bon Jovi, a 12-year-old mare by Krill Bon Jovi, and she is a full sister to Bonfire Jovi, a celebrated family. This mare won the ABCRA Maiden Horse Aggregate at the National Finals in 2022, and her jockey and owner, Ben, is a decorated Campdrafter in his own right. He won the World Championship at Sydney Royal in 2009, as well as many ABCRA titles. So we wish them well. This is competitor number 225, Ben Mayton and Elsie Bon Jovi. And that's how it's done. Straight through the middle, another great round there. We'll have a score from our 3 judges very shortly for Ben Mayton and Elsie Bon Jovi. Charles Tapp is in camp. Comes to us from Wandoan up there in Queensland. Charles is riding 2 up. 2 up is a hotspot gelding out of a Freckles 49er mare. Following Charles, 227, Dave Thorne, stand by on Miss Scarlet Acres. Likewise, 228, Josh Gibson. 229 will be Damien Ventry, and 230, Laura McNaughton.
Last competitor, competitor number 225, Ben Maidham with Elsie Bon Jovi, scoring 21 for cutout, 62 for horsework. Another 4 course points, grand total 87 point round there for Ben Maidham. As mentioned, in on camp now, 226, Charles Tapp with 2 up. In the camp now, please, we need Mr. David Thorne. He's 227 with Miss Scarlet Acres. Josh Gibson, you're number 228, be at the gate with Jewel Smart Cat. Last competitor, competitor number 226, Charles Tapp, and 2 up, scoring 20.33 for cutout, 60.67 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total, neat score, 85 points, 85 for Charles Tapp and 2 up. In on camp now, you're watching Mr. David Thorne, riding his nomination in Miss Scarlet Acres. Josh Gibson, you be at the gate, please, at 228, and Jewel Smart Cat. Damien Ventry, you're number 229 with Wallinga Park Delta. Number 230, Laura McNaughton, riding Cuban Cigars. Last competitor, competitor number 227, David Thorne with Miss Scarlet Acres, scoring 19.33 for cutout, 63.33 were the horse work, another 4 course points there, Dave. Grand total, 86.67 points. In on camp now, 228, Josh Gibson with Dual Smart Cat, waiting at the gate, number 229, Damien Ventry with Wallinga Park Delta. Laura McNaughton, you're number 230 with Cuban Cigars, and 231 will be Dean Rogers with Even Con. Number 232 will be Scott Jones and Competer. Once again, just a big thank you to a few more of our sponsors. We have Construction Control, ECM Livestock, Duncan Equine, Frontier Rural, Ben Max, Power FM and Nedia. So we've got a number of sponsors here, and as we mentioned there numerous times, we cannot run these events without the sponsors. So if you get your opportunity, make sure you repay the sponsors and go and say good day, make yourself known, but also use their services where possible.
Speaking of sponsors, that was Josh Gibson, a great sponsor in Foresight. Josh is on site this week, as you see. He's just put one through the middle, so have a yarn to Josh about his great products and the range that they offer through Interpath Foresight. We'll have a score for you shortly, Josh. 229, Damien Ventry on Wallinga Park Delta is in the camp. Laura McNaughton, standby on Cuban Cigars, 230. 231, Dean Rogers, Even Con. 232, Scott Jones, Conpeter. 233, Wyatt Young, Sheedy Spin and Pepsi. 234, Stephen Hart, the medalist. 235 will see Johnny Turvey riding Wallinga Park Flow, and 236, Kevin Gephardt on Cardinia Lawson.
Last competitor, competitor number 228, Josh Gibson with Dual Smart Cat, scoring a 21 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Josh. Grand total, 86 points. 86 points there for Josh Gibson and Dual Smart Cat. You're watching inside now, competitor number 229, Damien Ventry with Wallinga Park Delta. Laura McNaughton, you are next at 230 with Cuban Cigars.
And that's a 4-pointer there for Damien Ventry and Wallinga Park Delta. We will have a score for you shortly, Damien. Laura McNaughton is looking over her cattle. She is competitor number 230, riding Bruce McNaughton's Cuban Cigars. Laura and Ben make their home up there at Walker. Cuban Cigars is a mare by Hazelwood Conman and Out of an Acres mare. She's a novice mare and is indeed in form. Bruce won a novice on her only a few weekends ago, so we wish them well. This combination is competitor number 230, Laura McNaughton and Cuban Cigars. Standby 231, Dean Rogers, Even Con, and 232 will be Scott Jones, Conpeter.
Last competitor, 229, Damien Ventry with Wallinga Park Delta, scoring 22.67 for cutout. Sorry, correction to that score. Correction to the Damien's Ventry score. 21 for cutout, 58.33 for horsework. Further 4 course points. Grand total, 83.33. You are watching outside. Doing a lovely job. Competitor number 230, Laura McNaughton with Cuban Cigars.
Nicely done, Laurie. We'll have a score shortly for Laura McNaughton and Cuban Cigars, competitor number 230. 231, Dean Rogers is in camp riding Even Con at the gate. 232, Scott Jones, Conpeter. Standby 233, Wyatt Young, Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi. Score for Laura McNaughton and Cuban Cigars, 21 points for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 87. 21, 62 and 4, a total of 87 points for Laura McNaughton and Cuban Cigars. working now. This is 2:31, Dean Rogers and Even Con. Dean's come to us from Bega here in New South Wales. Even Con is an open mare. She's 6 years old and was indeed purchased at the first Willinga sale. She's got Conman and Acres Destiny bloodlines, and they head around the first peg in this first round of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. This is Dean Rogers and Even Con, competitor number 231. 232 moves into the yard, Scott Jones. Wyatt Young on Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi. Please stand by.
Last competitor, competitor number 231, Dean Rogers with Even Con, scoring a 22 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points, another nice score, 87 points. 87 points there for Dean Rogers and Even Con. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 232, Scott Jones, Con Peter. 233, Wyatt Young, would you be ready with Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi, and Stephen Hart, you number 234 with the Metalist.
Scott Jones, we watch, riding Conpeter. Conpeter is a Conman mare out of a dual ray mare. And Scott has made the trip from Old Junie. Conpeter is owned by the Forever 22 partnership. And I'm sure they'd be happy watching what's going on here as Scott Jones heads around looking for a gate. Riding Conpeter. And he's done just that. A really lovely run of cattle here. Seeing some really good scores put together, and another one will come through shortly for Scott Jones and Conpeter.
Last competitor, competitor number 232, Scott Jones and Conpeter, scoring 21 for cutout, 62 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total, another 87 points. 87 points there for Scott Jones and Conpeter. You are watching once again another one of these very fine young in-form jockeys in Wyatt Young, riding Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi. Competitor number 234, Stephen Hart, you'll follow in with the medalist and John Turvey at 235. You be ready with Willinga Park Flow.
Wyatt Young is a Tamworth competitor. Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi was the 2019 Landmark Challenge winner of multiple drafts, but on this occasion, unfortunately, we can only offer you a cutout score for Wyatt Young and Sheedy, Spin and Pepsi. They go away with a cutout of 22 points for you there, Wyatt. We move our attention now to Stephen Hart, competitor number 234, riding the medalist. The medalist is a 7-year-old quarter horse stallion out of Mum's Stylish Pepto by Metallic Cat. We heard Steve interviewed just before. A lovely open horse owned by Steve and the team. They've made the trip from Googong, so we wish them well. Competitor number 234, Stephen Hart and the medalist. John Turvey moves into the yard, riding Willinga Park Flow. Standby 236, Kevin Gephardt on Cardinia Lawson. 237 will be Cole Moxley, Arizona. 238 will be my friend Sarah Cookson on Paradise. 239, Tony McFarlane, Weekend Hustler. 240, Peter Bolton, Gifted Spin. 241, Mick Otten and Perch. And 242, Robert Chamberlain and Ashcat Repack. But for now, we watch competitor number 234 putting together a nice round out here. This is Stephen Hart riding the medalist.
Last competitor, competitor number 234. Stephen Hart with the medalist, scoring 22 for cutout, 62 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Stephen. Grand total, 88 points. 88 points for the medalist. And Stephen Hart, you are watching one of the Willinga team, John Turvey, riding a horse called Willinga Park Flow.
As Beardy said, this entry is indeed owned by Terry Snow, our host here this week, and John Turvey is part of his cattle team managing one of the places up in Queensland. That's time. We'll leave that one up to the judges. Good job, Turv. We'll have a score for John Turvey and Willinga Park Flow coming through shortly. 2:36 in the camp, Kevin Gephardt riding Cardinia Lawson. Cole Moxie standby 237. Cole Moxley is 237. 238 Sarah Cookson Paradise, and 239 Tony McFarlane Weekend Hustler.
Last competitor, competitor number 235, John Turvey with Willinga Park Flow, scoring a 21.67 for cutout, 55.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, a grand total 81 points. It's an 81-point round there for John Turvey with Willinga Park Flow. You're watching competitor number 236, Kevin Gephardt with Corinda Lawson. 237, Cole Moxie in Arizona, and number 238, Sarah Cookson with her nomination in Paradise.
Unfortunately for Kevin, they go out with a no score, so we'll remove that steer from the yard and go ahead with competitor number 237, Cole Moxie and Arizona. Once again, big thank you to our backyard helpers, the people who ensure that cattle come in and out safely, look after us across the weekend and keep cattle up to the competitors. So big thank you to the team who make this all happen. Lots of moving parts to run an event of this calibre, and we're certainly grateful to our volunteers and helpers. 237 moves into the yard, Cole Moxie on Arizona. Cole comes to us from Goulburn, and Arizona is a 10-year-old mare. She's a novice mare who's had success in stock horse events. Following Cole, Sarah Cookson standby on Paradise, 238. Likewise, 239, Tony McFarlane, Weekend Hustler, and 240, Pete Bolton and Gifted Spin. Bad luck there, Cole. Cole Moxie and Arizona go out with a 20 points for cutout, 20 points for Cole Moxie and Arizona. In camp now, working her beast. This is competitor number 238, Sarah Cookson, riding Paradise. Paradise is a 17-year-old mare by Conman. She's been a finalist here in the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. She's won numerous Opens, ladies, and was a ACA Cutout Horse of the Year a few years ago. PJ Cookson owns this mare, says Dad. Sarah's part of the Willinga Park team, works very closely with Eric and the team up at looking after all the requirements at the vet hospital. So any conversations you'd like to have with bringing your mares for breeding needs down, have a yarn to Sarah. She'll be able to help you out. And in the meantime, she's put a score on the board. That was Sarah Cookson and Paradise. We will have a score for you shortly, Biggin. 2:39 moves into the camp. Tony McFarlane and Weekend Hustler. 2:40 Peter Bolton's Gifted Spin stand by. Likewise 2:41 Mick Otten and Mumbala Perch.
Last competitor, competitor number 238, Sarah Cookson and Paradise. 21 for cutout, 63 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Cooko. 88 points. 88 points there for Sarah Cookson with Paradise. In on camp now, number 239, Tony McFarlane with Weekend Hustler. 240 be Peter Bolton and Gifted Spin, and number 241 will be Mick Otten and Mumbula Perch. 242, Robert Chamberlain with Ash Cat Repack. And as Heidi just mentioned there a moment ago, Sarah Cookson working closely over there at that vet clinic, the recently opened Equine Vet Hospital here at the state-of-the-art equipment and technology here at Willinga Park. It provides 24 hours, 7 days, emergency and aftercare services as well. So immaculate services and facilities up here at Willinga Park, as you would imagine.
$19.33 there for Tony McFarlane and Weekend Hustler, compared to number 239, 19.33 for cutout for you, Tony. Peter Bolton is working on camp. He is riding Gifted Spin. 241, standby Mick Otten, riding Mumbala Perch. Likewise 242, Robert Chamberlain and Ashcat Repack. But on course, this is Pete Bolton riding Gifted Spin. Gifted Spin is a 6-year-old gelding by Seligman Spin. He was 2023 GCA Novice Horse of the Year. His jockey Peter is a previous Chinchilla Grandfather Clock winner, as well as the GCA Open Rider and Champion Rider of 2023 from a great family of camp drafters. This is Peter Bolton from Hayfield in Victoria, and he's put a 4-pointer on the board. We'll have a score for you shortly, Peter Bolton and Gifted Spin.
Competitor number 240, Peter Bolton and Gifted Spin, scoring a 21.67 for cutout. 63 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a lovely score of 88.67. 88.67 points for Peter Bolton's Gifted Spin. You are now watching outside Mick Otten. Here's competitor number 241 with Mumbula Perch. In on camp we'll have 242, Robert Chamberlain with Ashcat Repack, and number 243, Chris Nicholson with Wallaroo Cognito.
Cutout score of 19.67 for Mick Otten and Mumbula Perch. 19.67 for 241 Mick Otten. 242 working on camp now. This is Robert Chamberlain riding Ashcat Repack, owned by Robert and Alana Chamberlain of Bombala. Repack is an 11-year-old gelding by Adios Respect and out of Hazelwood Compact. Into the camp, 243 Chris Nicholson, Wallaroo Cognito. Standby 244 Cassie Fordham, Dooley's Checks. 245 will be Huey Miles, Dooley's Tellus. 246 Shane Palmer, Tassa Destiny. And 247 will be Jack Ventry and Ventry's Risky. Bad luck there, Robert. 20.33 for cutout for Robert Chamberlain and Ashcat Repack. Chris Nicholson is looking over his cattle now, riding Wallaroo Cognito. Standby Cassie Fordham, 244, and Hugh Miles, 245. Wallaroo Cognito is an 8-year-old gelding by Quick Acres. Cognito is a family favourite. He's a novice horse and always in finals and in the ribbons. Chris comes to us from Maruya. But unfortunately for Chris and Cognito, they go out with a no score today. Once that beast is cleared from the yard, we will go with competitor number 244. Making the trip down from Tamworth will be Cassie Fordham and Dooley's Checks. Stand by, 245, Hugh Miles, Dooley Tellis, and 246, Shane Palmer, Tassa Destiny.
That's why we're getting the spent beast out of the yards there. We'll just run through a few more of these very much treasured partners that we have here. Kubar Performance Horses, who are situated up there at Tamworth at Meadowbank at Kingswood there, just 5 minutes south of Tamworth. SAS Water Solutions for keeping the water at Willinga Park safe. Exceptional water testing facilities and infiltration. Bride's Easy Feed, who provide the quality horse food throughout there. Lewis Truckin, Bay and Coast Roofing, Shanahan's for keeping the cattle safe and transporting them all over Australia. So I see a few of the Shanahan trucks lined up here last night. So a big thank you to Dom Shanahan and his team from Shanahan's. In Mastery of the Horses, the Australian Outback Spectacular. So once again, we would like to thank all of those partners that partner throughout the weekend here at Willinga Park. Very big thank you. Without the partners, we cannot run these events.
Rightio, cuddle out, cuddle in. We turn our attention to competitor number 244, Cassie Fordham, riding Dooley's Checks. This is a 22-year-old mare by Julie Cool. She's won over 30 ladies Campdrafts, multiple opens, and is a cutout winner. Cassie herself is the 2022 ABCRA Lady Rider of the Year, and she also won the aggregate championship at the finals that year. So we watch Cassie Fordham made the trip down from Tamworth, riding Julie's Checks. Competitor number 244. Following Cass, we'll have 245, Huey Miles riding Dooley Tellis. 246, Shane Palmer, Tassa's Destiny. 247, Jack Ventry, Ventry's Risky. 248 will be Matt Durkin's Smooth as a Minx. 249, Bill Carey, Ninja Cat. And 250, Steve Comiskey, One Night Stand. For now, though, we are watching competitor number 244, Cassie Fordham and Dooley's Checks. Unfortunately, not meant to be today for Cassie Fordham and Dooley's Checks. They go out with a 20-point cutout, 20 points for Cassie Fordham's Dooley's Checks. Hugh Miles moves into the yard riding Julie Tellis. Julie Tellis is a mare owned by Hugh, by Tellis again.
Last competitor number 245, Huey Miles with Dooley Tellus, scoring 21 points there for the cutout. In on camp now we have competitor number 246, Shane Palmer. Running his nomination in Tass's Destiny, 247, Jack Ventry with Ventry's Risky.
Shane Palmer is riding his entry, Tass's Destiny. A 16-year-old open gelding by Tassalina. Shane and Vetti make their home up there at Tamworth. One of his career highlights is making the final of the Open up at Paradise Lagoons only last week, so the team have had a big trip and made the trek down. But on that occasion, unfortunately, we can only offer Shane Palmer and Tass's Destiny a cutout score of 21 points for you there, Shane. We move our attention to competitor number 247, Jack Ventry and Ventry's Risky. Jack will be followed by 248, Matt Durkin, Smooth as a Minx. Stand by 249, Bill Carey, Ninja Cat. And 250, Steve Comiskey, One Night Stand.
I'll tell you what, Heidi, I know you're into statistics and you'd like to know this, but just the quality of the drafting here so far this morning or throughout the day here so far, we have 10% of the actual runners that have run have scored 88 points and better. And if you want to take it a little bit further, 20% of the runners that have run, 20% of every runner that's run here today has an 87 points or better. So that gives you an idea of the quality of the stock, the quality of the facilities. 20% of the runners here this morning to date have 87 points and better here this morning.
Undoubtedly some amazing camp drafting, Gav. Unfortunately for Jack Ventry, we can offer them a 20.33 for Ventry's Risky and Jack Ventry. We move now to competitor number 248, Matt Durkin, riding his entry, Smooth as a Minx. Minx is a novice mare by Smooth as a Cat. Matt has made the trip down from up there around the Tamworth area at the minute. We wish them luck. Competitor number 249, Bill Carey, stand by on Ninja Cat. Steve Comiskey, you'll ride One Night Stand at 250. 251, Brett Welsh, All Stars Harmony. 252, we'll see Pete Comiskey, Irvine's Just Jim. 253, Harry Lanark and Exie. 254, Zane Haberman, Destiny's Swift. And 255 will be Mark Buttsworth and One Stylish Pepto. Working in camp now, though, this is Matt Durkin and Smooth as a Minx. Matt Durkin and Smooth as a Minx have a 15.67 for cutout. 15.67 there for you, Matty. We move to competitor number 249, all the way from Gundawindi in Queensland. This is Bill Carey riding his entry, Ninja Cat. Ninja Cat's an open horse. Is a firm favourite in the Carey family. Following Bill, we will have 250, Steve Comiskey, One Night Stand. Standby 251, Brett Welsh, All Stars Harmony. And 252, Pete Comiskey, Irvine's Just Jim. For now, though, this is competitor number 249, Bill Carey, riding Bill and Jill Carey's Ninja Cat. We'll have a score shortly for Bill Carey. For now, let's watch competitor number 50 rather, Steve Comiskey riding One Night Stand. This entry is owned by Chris Ware. One Night Stand is a 7-year-old stallion by Romeo. He won his maiden at Middlemount and a novice. Won the Condamine Bell novice and indeed was third at Paradise last week in the Atkin Open. So we wish them well. This is One Night Stand, and Steve Comiskey came down from Capella via the big Paradise Lagoons Campdraft. In fact, Stevie won that. We wish them well in this, the first round of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Steve will be followed by 51, All Stars Harmony. Stand by 252, Pete Comiskey, Irvine's Just Jim. 253 will be Harry Lennox, Exie, and 254, Zane Haberman, Destiny's Swift. Outside we watch competitor number 250, Steve Comiskey riding Chris Ware's nomination, One Night Stand.
Previous competitor, competitor number 249, Bill Carey with Ninja Cat, scoring a 21 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points, that'll be a grand total, 86.33. 86.33 points for Bill Carey, riding nomination, Ninja Cat. Competitor number 250, Steve Comiskey with One Night Stand, scoring a 16.33 cutout, 62.33 horsework. Another 4 course points, a grand total 82.67. 82.67 points for Steve Comiskey's One Night Stand. In on camp now, with a lovely fresh yard, the Willinga Park bred cattle. We have Mr. Brett Welsh at competitor number 251. All Stars Harmony's his nomination. 252, Peter Comiskey with Irvine's Just Jim B at the gate. Harry Larnick, your number 253 with Exie.
Calling for his gate and heading outside, this is competitor number 251, Brett Welsh, riding All Stars Harmony. Brett and Mel Welsh's entry. Made the trip down from Kerry in Queensland. Into the camp, please, 252, Pete Comiskey on Irvine's Just Jim. Standby 253, Harry Lanark on Exie. 254 will be Zane Haberman, Destiny's Swift. 255, Mark Buttsworth, One Stylish Pepto. 256, Roger Grant on Sarenstone Park, Judge Destiny. 257, Michael Hiscock on Newborn Buick. And 258, Cat Creek on Dave. Thanks, Brett. Score will come through for competitor number 251, Brett Welsh on All Stars Harmony.
Last competitor, competitor number 251, Brett Welsh, All Stars Harmony, scoring a 21 for cutout, 60.33 for the horsework there, my friend. Another 4 course points, grand total 85.33 points for Brett Welsh, riding the nomination in All Stars Harmony. 252 now, Pete Comiskey, riding Irvine's Just Jim. Harry Larnick, you be at the gate, you are number 253 with Exie. Number 254, Zane Haberman with Destiny's Swift.
And on course is the call from Nebo competitor Pete Comiskey, riding Irvine's Just Jim, owned by Bryony Puttycombe. Just Jim is a Soda Justice gelding out of that great Amiga mare we saw in Irvine's Chico. Following Pete, we will move to competitor number 253, Harry Lennox and Exie. 254 will be Zane Haberman, Destiny Swift. But looking for a gate here. Two-time winner of this Willinga Park Gold Buckle. This is Pete Comiskey and Just Jim, and we will have a score for you shortly, PJ.
Last competitor, competitor number 252, Pete Comiskey with Irvine's Just Jim. Scoring at 21.67 for cutout, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Pete. Grand total 88.67 for Bryony Puddicombe's nomination in Irvine's Just Jim. In on camp now, competitor number 253, Harry Larnick with Exie. Number 254 waiting at the gate will be Zane Haberman with Destiny Swift, and number 255, Mr. Mark Buttsworth with One Stylish Pepto.
Harry Lennox, we watch riding Exie. Good open gelding of Harry's. Made the trip from Rockley over Bathurst Way, and a 4-pointer on the board for you. Harry will have a score shortly for Harry and Exie. Zane Haberman is in the camp. He is competitor number 254, riding Destiny Swift. 255, standby, Mark Buttsworth, One Stylish Pepto. Likewise, 256, Roger Grant and Serenstone Park Judge Destiny. Score for Harry Lennox and Exie, 16.33 for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 for the course, a total of 82.33. 16.33, 62 and 4, total of 82.33 for Harry Lennox and Exie. Zane Haberman we watch, competitor number 254 on Destiny Swift. Destiny Swift is a 9-year-old colt by Acres Destiny, owned by Kerry and Zane. They've made the trip down from Springshaw. He comes every year and brings a solid string of horses, and we wish them luck here. Zane Haberman, Destiny Swift. Mark Buttsworth, you're standing by on One Stylish Pepto. Likewise, 256, Roger Grant. 257, Michael Hiscock on Mewburn Buick. 258, Cat Creek on Dave. And 259, Ben Hall's Poetic. Righto, while we wait for that score, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that 255 in the yard is Mark Buttsworth on that great horse in One Stylish Pepto. Owned by the One More Syndicate. He needs no introduction. He's won all the things worth winning. He is by Pepto Stylish Oak out of the exceptional Hall of Fame mare in One More Spin. This is Mark Buttsworth and One Stylish Pepto. We've seen plenty of his daughters and sons competing. And we get to see this horse again in the cutout shootout tonight. Previous winner of most of these events, and right now he's got one locked away in the first round of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. We will have a score for Mark Buttsworth and One Stylish Pepto very shortly.
Previous competitor number 254, Zane Haberman with Destiny Swift, scoring 15.67 for cutout, 62 for horsework. Further 4 course points, grand total of 81.67. 81.67 points for Zane Haberman's Destiny Swift. And we move on to competitor number 255, Mark Buttsworth's score with One Stylish Pepto. And Heidi, you're right, he's a tremendous horse, scoring a 23.67 cutout, a 64 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total and right to the lead at this point in time with a 91.67 point round. 91.67 points there for Mark Buttsworth and One Stylish Pepto. In on camp now, you are watching one of the partners here from Willinga. We're watching Mr. Roger Grant from Kubar Performance Horses, riding Serenton Park Judge Destiny.
Indeed, Roger rides Serenton Park Judge Destiny, 6-year-old gelding by Soda Justice out of an Acres mare. Roger runs Kubar Performance Horses up there at Tamworth and is an absolute lover of the sport of camp drafting. One of the highlights was running 5th here in the Willinga Park Gold Buckle last year, and I tell you what, he's doing a good job putting one together to try and better that this year. This is Tamworth competitor Roger Grant riding Serenton Park Judge Destiny. I reckon he's happy with that, folks. We'll have a score for you shortly, Roger. 257 in camp, Michael Hiscock, Mewburn, Buick. Standby 258, Cat Creek, Dave. 259 will be Ben Hall, Hall's Poetic. 260, Kate Schiffman, Chisholm's Silver Spoon. 261, Troy Palmer, Hell's A-Comin'. 262, Luke Hardwick, Sweetie. And 263, Jack Birch on Statesman's Phoenix.
Last competitor number 256, Roger Grant with a Serenton Park Judge Destiny, scoring a 20 for cutout, 62.67 worth of horsework, another 4 course points there, Rog. Grand total 86.67 points, 86.67 points for Roger Grant's nomination. In on camp now, 257, Michael Hiscock with Newborn Buick, and number 258, Cat Creek, riding Dave.
On course for Mafra competitor Michael Hiscock riding Mewburn Buick. He's an open stallion owned by the Hiscock family. Michael himself is a Willinga Park Gold Buckle winner in 2021. He won a couple of Gold Cups, 2006 and 2013, and right now he and Buick are putting together a mighty round. This is Michael Hiscock and Mewburn Buick, the Bonlac Gigolo stallion out of that Gold Cup winner in Hazelwood Advice. We will have a score for you shortly, Mick. Michael Hiscock and Mewburn Buick. 258 moves into the yard, Cat Creek and Dave. Standby 259, Ben Hall, Poetic.
Last competitor number 257, Michael Hiscock with nomination in Mewburn Buick, scoring 22 for cutout, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Michael. Grand total, 89 point round, 89 points for Michael Hiscock and Mewburn Buick. In on camp now, competitor number 258, Cat Creek, riding nomination in Dave. 259, Ben Hall, you be ready with Hall's Poetic. Number 260, Kate Schiffman with Chisholm's Silver Spoon. Troy Palmer, you be ready. You are at number 261 with Hell's A-Comin'. Last competitor, competitor number 258, Cat Creek, riding Dave, scoring 20.33 for cut out, 56.33 for horsework, another 3 course points there. Grand total 79.67 points. 79.67 for Cat Creek and Dave. In on camp now we have competitor number 259, Ben Hall, riding Hall's Poetic. Kate Shipman, you be ready, you are 260, riding Chisholm's Silver Spoon, and Troy Palmer, you are number 261 with Hell's A-Comin'.
Outside's the call for Muddaborough competitor Ben Hall, riding Hall's Poetic. Poetic is a 2014 mare by Play Rio out of that Arcadia Realm mare in Elrose Gloss. Ben Hall needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. He's a multiple Condamine Bell winner. I think there's 8 of those at home. He's got 3 Gold Cups, and he is your current ACA Open Rider of the Year. Unfortunately for Ben today, we'll get a score through for him shortly. That was Ben Hall and Poetic. Kate Schiffman, she's in the camp riding Chisholm's Silver Spoon. Following Kate, 261, Troy Palmer, Hell's A-Comin', standby 262, Luke Hardwick and Sweetie.
Competitor number 2. Last competitor, competitor number 259, Ben Hall with Hall's Poetic, scoring a 21.33 for cutout. You are watching outside now. Kate Schiffman at number 260, Chisholm's Silver Spoon. In on camp now, number 261. Troy Palmer riding Hell's A-Comin', and number 262, Luke Hardwick with Sweetie.
Unfortunately, just a cutout there for Kate Schiffman and Chisholm's Silver Spoon of 20.33. 20.33 for Kate Schiffman and Chisholm's Silver Spoon. In camp now, this is cooler competitor Troy Palmer riding Wallinga Park's entry, Hell's A-Comin'. This particular mare is a 15-year-old mare out of One Hell of a Spin by Bob's Hickory Rio. She's won multiple Open and Ladies Campdrafts. She placed in the 2021 Wallinga Park Gold Buckle and is indeed owned by Terry Snow and the Wallinga Park Campdraft team. He's made a really nice start there. This is Troy Palmer and Hell's A-Comin'. Into the camp, 262, Luke Hardwick, Sweetie. Standby, 263, Jack Birch, Statesman's Phoenix, and 264, Rob Leach and Hazelwood Congressman. 265 will be Tim McLaughlin on Peel Vale Chick's Wishes, and 266, Lockie Sim, No More Rain. Looking for a gate though, this is Terry Snow's nomination, Hell's A-Comin'. Thanks, Troy. 4-pointer on the board for Troy Palmer and Hell's A-Comin'. We'll get the rest of that score shortly. 262, Luke Hardwick. Attention is on you, riding Sweetie.
Last competitor, competitor number 261, Troy Palmer with Wallinga Park's nomination in Hell's A-Comin', scoring a 22.33 cutout, 63.33 horsework, another 4 course points there, my friend. Grand total, 89.67 points. 89.67 points for Hell's A-Comin' and Troy Palmer. In on camp, or working outside now, correct? We have 262, Luke Hardwick, riding Sweetie. In on camp, please, 263, Jack Birch and Statesman's Phoenix.
Rightio, score for 262, Luke Hardwick riding Sweetie. 21 points for cutout, 58 for horsework and 3 for the course, a total of 82. 21, 58 and 3, a total of 82 points for Luke Hardwick riding Sweetie. We now turn our attention to competitor number 263, Jack Birch riding Statesman Phoenix. Statesman's Phoenix is a 6-year-old mare. She's a great family horse and always tries hard. And Jack has made the trip from Grania. We wish them well. This is Jack Birch riding Statesman's Phoenix. 264, Rob Leach, please stand by on Hazelwood Congressman. Likewise, 265, Tim McLaughlin, Peelvale Chick's Wish. And 266, Lockie Sim, No More Rain. 267 will be John Mitchell's Chicken Man. 268, Ben McNaughton, Always Again. 269, Sarah Nichols, Tapped Dancing Queen. And 270, Matt Moy and Shakira's Tapped In. Outside though, we watch 263, Jack Birch and Phoenix.
Last competitor, competitor number 263, Jack Birch with Phoenix scoring a 15-point cutout. 15 points there, unfortunately no further points there, Jack. 15 points. In on camp now, competitor number 264, Robert Leach with Hazelwood Congressman. 265 will be Tim McLaughlin with Peelvale Chick's Wish. And number 266, Lockie Sim with No More Rain. And number 267 will be John Mitchell with Chicken Man.
Working his beast in the camp now. We watch Tamworth competitor Robert Leach and Hazelwood Congressman. This lovely horse is by Hazelwood Conman out of that lovely mare of Kylie Cook's Duloc Midnight Run. He's an open camp drafter and indeed did win the open draft the other day at the Stockhorse Nationals up there at Tamworth. We wish them well on this occasion. This is Robert Leach and Hazelwood Congressman. Stand by, 265, Tim McLaughlin, Peelvale Chick's Wish, you're in. 266, Lockie Sim, No More Rain, please be at the gate. Likewise, 267, John Mitchell and Chicken Man. On course, we're watching Robert Leach. He won the Classic up there at the Nutrient Sale this year. Been an informed competitor, winning lots of drafts lately, particularly on this horse. This is Hazelwood Congressman, and Robert Leach comes down from Atunga.
Last competitor, competitor number 264, correction. Robert Leach, Hazelwood Congressman, scoring 15 for cutout, 60.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 79.33. 79.33 there for Robert Leach and Hazelwood Congressman. In on camp or outside, sorry, we have Tim McLaughlin with Peelvale Chick's Wish. In camp now, please, 266, Lockie Sim with No More Rain. Waiting at the gate, 267, John Mitchell with Chicken Man. Competitor number 265, Tim McLaughlin, with a Peelvale Chick's Wish, scoring 20 points. 20 points there for the cutout. In on camp now, we have competitor number 266, Lockie Sim, No More Rain. Chicken Man, you're there with John Mitchell at 267, 268, Ben McNaughton, Always Again.
Holbrook competitor we watch, Lockie Sim riding No More Rain, owned by Lockie and Beck Sim. No More Rain is by No More One More, out of Singing in the Rain. Locks an NCCA rider qualifier on a couple of occasions. Decorated competitor. We wish them well here as they head across looking for a second peg. This is competitor number 266, Lockie Sim and No More Rain. John Mitchell moves into the yard, 267. On Chicken Man, Ben McNaughton stand by on Always Again, competitor number 268.
Last competitor, Lockie Sim at number 266. No More Rain, scoring 22 for cutout. 22 points there, Lock. In on camp now, we have competitor number 267. Mr. John Mitchell riding Chicken Man. 268, Ben McNaughton, you be ready with Always Again. And number 269, Sarah Nichols. Tap Dancing Queen, be ready.
Outside's the call for John Mitchell, Ladysmith competitor. He rides Hall's Chicken Man. Chicken Man is a 13-year-old stallion by Hazelwood Conman. Out of that mare, we saw well-campaigned 49er Chick. Chicken Man has won open drafts and challenges, including 3 men from Snowy Rivers. John Mitchell, competitor number 267, riding Chicken Man, heading across looking for a gate. 268 moves into the yard, Ben McNaughton, Always Again. Standby 269, Sarah Nichols, Tap Dancing Queen. 270 will be Matt Moy, Shakira's Tapped In. 271, Wyatt Young will be back on Henry's Jezebel. And 272, Phil Collins and Yaven More Ice. 4-pointer on the board for John Mitchell's Chicken Man. We'll have a score for you shortly, John.
Last competitor, John Mitchell at number 267 with Chicken Man scoring 21.67 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, a grand total, even score, 87 points. 87 points there for John Mitchell and Chicken Man. You are watching outside now, Mr. Ben McNaughton with Always Again. In the camp, please, number 269, Sarah Nichols with Tap Dancing Queen, and number 270, you be at the gate, please, Matt Moy with Shakira's Tapped In.
Ben McNaughton rides Always Again, a Tell Us Again mare owned by Ted and Cherie Fogarty. Ben's made the trip down from a beautiful place at St Albans Walker. He's had a bit of form this morning and he's building on it there. I reckon Teddy'd be cheering at the live stream. Thanks, Ben. We'll have a score for Ben McNaughton and Always Again. 269, Sarah Nichols, you're in camp. 270, standby Matt Moy. Big thank you to those following along and watching the live stream. I can guarantee you it's a mighty place to be physically, but if you can't get here, we're sure glad to have the support down the live stream, so we welcome you and encourage you to keep on watching. The camp drafting is certainly first class here at the Willinga Park Gold Buckle first round. We are up to competitor number 269, Sarah Nichols and Tap Dancing Queen.
Last competitor, Ben McNaughton at 268, Always Again, scoring a 22.33 for cutout, 62.67 were the horsework, another 4 course points there, Ben. Grand total, 89-point round. 89 points there for Ben McNaughton, riding Always Again. You are watching now, number 269, Sarah Nichols, Tap Dancing Queen. Matt Moore, you be ready. You are number 270 with Shakira's Tapped In, and number 271, White Young with Henry's Jezebel. $269, competitor number 269, Sarah Nichols with Tap Dancing Queen, scoring 21 points. 21 there for the cutout, unfortunately no further points. We keep the 21 points. In on camp now, number 270, Matt Moy, Shakira's Tapped In. Waiting at the gate, number 271, Wyatt Young with Henry's Jezebel. Number 272, Philip Collins with Yaven More Ice.
Matt Moy, we watch. Competitor number 270, riding Shakira's Tapped In, owned by Kooyong Pastoral. Matt's made the trip from Sutton Forest. Shakira's Tapped In is a 10-year-old mare. She's an NCHA money winner and has had a lot of placings in drafts. We wish them well. This is Matt Moy, competitor number 270, riding Shakira's Tapped In. 271 moves into the yard, Wyatt Young, Henry's Jezebel. Jezebel rather. 272, Philip Collins, Yavin More Ice. 273, Tom Barnes, Willinga Park, Nikita. Norm Stagg will ride at 274. 275 will be Andrew Turvey, Cats and Roses. 276, Bryony Puddicombe on EPCD Cat. 277, Hugh Miles will be back on Chick Acres. And 278, Isabel Bergen on The Rock. Outside though, we watch, finishing up a run there. That was Matt Moy and Shakira's Tapped In.
Last competitor number 270, Matt Moy with Shakira's Tapped In, scoring 21.33 for cutout, 57.33 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 81.66. 81.66 points there for Matt Moy, Shakira's Tapped In. In on camp now, you're watching number 271, White Young, riding nomination, Henry's Jezebel. Waiting at the gate will be 272, Philip Collins with Yavin More Ice. Tom Barnes, your number 273 with Willinga Park, Nikita.
Looking for a second peg. This is Wyatt Young on Libby Henderson's entry, Henry's Jezebel. We mentioned before, Wyatt's had a bit of form already this morning. He's got one of the top scores, I believe, and got another 4-pointer on the board. Good job, Earp. We'll have a score shortly for Henry's Jezebel and Wyatt Young. Philip Collins moves into the camp, competitor number 272. Philip will be riding Yavin More Ice. Stand by 273, Tom Barnes and Willinga Park, Nikita. Norm Stagg, on Purdy Ray at 274. 275 will be Andrew Turvey, Cats and Roses.
Last competitor, White Young at competitor number 271 with Henry's Jezebel, scoring 21 for cutout, 60.67 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 85.67 points. In on camp now, you're watching 272, Philip Collins, Yavin More Ice. Tom Barnes, you be ready, you're number 273 with Willinga Park, Nikita. 274 will be Norm Stagg and Purdy Ray, and Andrew Turvey, you are number 275 with Cats and Roses.
On course for Yavin More Ice and Philip Collins. Certainly got a bit of form. This horse became an open horse on the weekend. Been a winner of numerous cutouts and camp drafts across the country, but did indeed win an open on the weekend, so we wish them well. This is Philip Collins, made the trip from Bombala. Philip's previous favourite camp drafting highlight was winning Equitana, but I bet he'd love to add a Willinga Park gold buckle to that, and he's made a nice start. We'll have a score come through for Philip Collins and Yavin More Ice, owned by Collins and Payton. 273, Tom Barnes, you're next up on Willinga Park, Nikita. Stand by 274, Norman Stagg on Purdy Ray. Likewise, Andrew Turvey and Cats and Roses.
Competitor number 272, Philip Collins with Yavin More Ice, scoring 21 for cutout, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points, 88-point round. 88 points there for Philip Collins and Yavin More Ice. In on camp, you are watching number 273, Tom Barnes, riding Willinga Park, Nikita. Waiting at the gate, number 274, Norm Stagg. You'll be there with Purdy Ray and Andrew Turvey. You are number 275 with your nomination in Cats and Roses.
That's time. Time, judges, thank you. We'll have a score for Tom Barnes, and Willinga Park Nikita. And then we'll move to 274, Norman Stagg and Purdy Ray. 275 will be Andrew Turvey. Standby 276, Bryony Puttycombe.
Competitor number 273, Tom Barnes with Willinga Park Nikita, scoring 16.67 for camp for cutout and 56 for horsework. Another 3 course points. Grand total of 75.67 points. 75.67 for Tom Barnes and Willinga Park Nikita. You're on camp now. You're watching number 274, Norman Stagg with Purdy Ray. Andrew Turvey, you be ready. You are number 275 with your nomination in Cats and Roses. Number 276, Bridie Puttycombe with EBCD Cat. Huey Miles, you are number 277 with Chick Acres. Bad luck there. Last competitor number 274, Norman Stagg, goes out with a no score. Unfortunately, no points today there, Norm. When the camp is clear, we will have one of the Willinga Park team. Once again, Andrew Turvey with Cats and Roses at 275. Number 276, Bryony Puttycombe with EBCD Cat. Number 277, Hugh Miles with Chick Acres. Number 278, Isabel Bergen with The Rock. And number 279, Susan Donastis with A Lily Roan. 280 be Zeb Pearce with Kambara, I'm a Smart One. And number 281 will be Tom Williamson, More Diamonds. Once again, a big thank you to Foresight and our team there for partnering here. To extend the athletic career of your horse, you need to care for their joints, so keep them performing at their best with the Foresight products. Buy them from your vets today. As we mentioned there before, if you're not happy with the results with Foresight through your vets, there's a 100% money back guarantee. You can't ask for more than that, so a big thank you for Foresight there, for partnering here at Willinga Park.
Rightio, receiving that fresh pen of cattle. This is competitor number 275, Andrew Turvey, riding his entry, Cats and Roses. Cats and Roses is a 16-year-old mare the Turvey family brought over. She is by Highbrow Cat. She is indeed an open mare. And from memory, I'm 100% sure she won the cutout shootout here a couple of years ago. A great mare Andrew's campaigned, and we wish them well on this occasion. Andrew's part of the Willinga Park team. He runs Juanda Plains up there at Wandoan, and later in the year we get to do this all again and go and have a run in the Campdraft that they'll be hosting up there at Juanda Plains. Lots of information to come about that, but an exciting opportunity, and we once again are thankful to Mr. Snow and his team for supporting our sport. We sure love it. This is Andrew Turvey, competitor number 275, riding his mare, Cats and Roses. Standby 276, Bryony Puttycombe on CD Cat. Hugh Miles, you'll be 277 on Chick Acres. 278, Isabel Bergen, The Rock. 279, Susan Donastis, Lily Roan. And 280, Zeb Pearce and I'm a Smart One. This is him though, this is 275, Andrew Turvey riding Cats and Roses. I'm sure Banjo and Winnie would be watching along on the live stream. 275, Andrew Turvey into the camp for Bryony Puttycombe, EPCD Cat. Thanks, Turv. We'll have a score for Andrew Turvey and Cats and Roses. 276 in the camp. Bryony Puttycombe riding CD Cat. 277 standby. Hugh Miles, Chick Acres. Likewise 278 Isabel Bergen.
Last competitor number 275, Andrew Turvey, nomination in Cats and Roses, scoring a 22 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Turv. Grand total 88.33 points. 88.33 there for Andrew Turvey and Cats and Roses. In on camp now, competitor number 276. Righty Putticum with EPCD Cat. Waiting at the gate will be number 277, Hugh Miles and Chick Acres, and number 278, Isabel Bergen with The Rock.
On course 4, 276, Bryony Puttycombe on her well-campaigned mare in CD Cat. Bryony's come down from Nebo. She's a multiple ACA Lady Rider of the Year. She's been a finalist here in the Wallinga Park Gold Buckle. She ran off the ladies here last year from memory. But unfortunately today, Pud, we can only offer you and CD Cat a cutout score. Entry number 276, Bryony Puttycombe and CD Cat. Go away with a 21 for cutout. 21 for cutout for CD Cat and Bryony Puttycombe. We turn our attention to Tamworth competitor Hugh Miles riding Chick Acres. Chick Acres is an open mare by Hugh's colt, Millionaire Chick. She was second in the Wallinga Cup, Wallinga Park Gold Buckle last year, in fact. Outside's the call for Hugh Miles. Makes his home up there. Runs a training stable out of Tamworth. We wish them well. We've seen plenty of him today and plenty more to come as the weekend goes on. This is Hugh Miles riding Chick Acres. Into the camp, 278, Isabel Bergen on The Rock. 279, Susan Dynastis stand by on Lily Roan. 280 will be you, Zeb Pearce on I'm a Smart One. 281, Tom Williamson, More Diamonds. 282, Lisa Pocklington, Cats and Tats. And 283, Scotty Shea on Morse's Checkmate. And that's another 4-pointer for Hugh Miles and Chick Acres. Score will come through, Huey.
Competitor number 277, Hugh Miles and Chick Acres, scoring a 22 cutout, 62.66 for horse, 67, sorry, for horsework. Another 4 course points. Hugh, 88.67 points. 88.67 for Hugh Miles and Chick Acres. 278, Isabel Bergen with The Rock. You're watching inside right now. Waiting at the gate will be 279, Susan Dynastis with Lily Roan. Zeb Pearce, your number 280. With Kumbara, I'm a Smart One, and number 281, Tom Williamson and More Diamonds.
Unfortunately, just a cutout score there today for Isabel Bergen and The Rock, a cutout score of 17.33. 17.33 for Isabel Bergen and The Rock. Competitor number 279, looking over her cattle now, is Susie Dynastis and Lily Roan. Susie made the trip down from Yarraman, up there in Queensland. Lily Roan is a 12-year-old Acres Destiny mare. She's an open mare and a joy to have on the truck. We wish Susie all the best. Competitor number 279, Susan Dynastis and Lily Roan. Stand by, 280, Zeb Pearce on I'm a Smart One. 281, Tom Williamson, More Diamonds. 282, Lisa Pocklington, Cats and Tats. 283, Scott Shea and Morse's Checkmate. And 284, we'll see Nada Grover and Must Be Grisham. Working the camp now, though, this is 279, Susie Dynastis and Lily Roan.
Last competitor, competitor number 279, Susan Danassis with Lily Roan, scoring a 16-point for cut out, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 83 points there, Susan. 83 points for Susan Danastis and Lily Roan. You're watching now competitor number 280, Zeb Pearce with Kumbara, I'm a Smart One. Waiting at the gate will be 281, Tom Williamson and More Diamonds, and Lisa Pocklington with Cats and Tats. You are number 282.
Zeb Pearce riding Kumbara, I'm a Smart One. I'm a Smart One is a 4-year-old gelding by Tasser and Smart, and Zeb comes from Nundle in the Tamworth region. Unfortunately today, Zeb, we can only offer you a cutout score for Kumbara, I'm a Smart One, and Zeb Pearce. We have a 20.67 for cutout for Zeb Pearce, and Karamba, I'm a Smart One. Now move our attention to Glen Innes competitor Tom Williamson riding More Diamonds. More Diamonds is by One More Playboy out of Moore Park, Jessie. And her jockey, Tom Williamson, is a previous Warrior Gold Cup winner, as well as many other accolades in his both camp drafting and cutting world. This is Tom Williamson, made the trip down with his family. We've seen young Tommy ride, and we will see the rest of the family compete as the weekend goes on. That's time. Time, judges, thank you. Thanks, Tom. We'll have a score coming through for Tom Williamson and More Diamonds. Lisa Pocklington, 282, is in the camp, looking over her cattle on Cats and Tats. Scott Shea, stand by, 283 on Morse's Checkmate. 284 will be Nada Grover, Must Be Grisham. 285, Brendan Day, Ray's Imagination. 286, Bronwyn Up, John Telly. 287 will be Dan French, True Bet. And 288, Tim McCarthy, Le Storm.
Last competitor, 281, Tom Williamson's More Diamonds, scoring 22 for cut out, 54.33 for horsework. Another 3 course points there, Tom. Grand total, 79.33. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 282, Lisa Pocklington with Cats and Tats. 283, Scott Shea, be ready with Morse's Checkmate. And number 284, Nada Grover with Must Be Grisham. Number 285, Brendan Day with Ray's Imagination, and 286, Bronwyn Up John with Telly. You are watching round 1, the Ringers Western Wear Gold Buckle here at Wallinga Park.
On course proper for Lisa Pocklington. Competitor number 282, she is riding Cats and Tats. Cats and Tats is a 9-year-old maiden gelding by Desire's Little Rex out of Cats and Roses. Lisa makes her home at Mearboo North in Victoria. Into the camp, 283, Scott Shea, Morse's Checkmate. Standby 284, Nada Grover and Must Be Grisham. 285, Brendan Day, Ray's Imagination. 286 will be Bronwyn Up John Telly. 287, Dan French, True Bet. 288, Tim McCarthy, Le Storm. 289, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down. And 290, Kimberley Salmon, Highway to Hell. Looking for a gate note now, though. This is 282, Lisa Pocklington, Cats and Tats. Thanks, Lisa. We'll have a score shortly from our judges.
Last competitor, competitor number 282, Lisa Pocklington with Cats and Tats, scoring a 16 for cutout, 56 for horsework, another 3 course points. Grand total of 75 points. 75 there, Lisa. In on camp now, competitor number 283, Scott Shea with Moore's Checkmate. 284, Nada Grover with Must Be Grisham, and number 285, Brendan Day with Ray's Imagination. 286 will be Bronwyn Upjohn with Telly, and number 287 will be Dan French with True Bet.
Outside's the call for Scotty Shea and Morse's Checkmate. Checkmate is an Acres Destiny Stallion. He's an open horse. Scotty comes to us from Braidwood. Always helps out here and is heavily involved in the runnings of the cattle operation here to make sure we keep receiving cattle, and across the weekend looks after us competitors, and we're very grateful to Scott for that. This is Scott Shea riding Morse's Checkmate. Competitor number 283. 284, Nada Grover is in camp. Stand by 285, Brendan Day.
Last competitor, competitor number 283, Scott Shea with Morse's Checkmate, scoring a 22.33 for cutout, 58.33 for horsework, another 3 course points. Grand total 83.67. In on camp now, competitor number 284, Nada Grover with Must Be Grisham. Number 285, Brendan Day with Ray's Imagination. You be ready, and number 286 will be Bronwyn Upjohn and Telly.
On course for Bigoted competitor Nada Grover riding Must Be Grisham. Grisham is an open stock horse gelding by McNamara Refund. It was bred and owned by Nada herself. They've made the trek down from Bigoted in Queensland. This is competitor number 284, Nada Grover and Must Be Grisham. 285, Brendan Day into the camp. Stand by 286, Bronwyn Upjohn. And that's how you do it, folks. A 4-pointer on the board for Nada Grover and Must Be Grisham. Score will come through for you shortly, Nada.
Competitor number 284, Nada Grover with Must Be Grisham, scoring a 21 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework, 4 course points, grand total 86.33. 86.33 there for Nada Grover with Must Be Grisham. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 285, Brendan Day with Ray's Imagination. Bronwyn Upjohn, you be next in with 286 and Telly. 287, Dan French, you be ready with a True Bet, and number 288, Tim McCarthy. Don't be far away with La Storm. Last competitor, competitor number 285, Brendan Day with Ray's Imagination, scoring a 16.67 points for cutout. Unfortunately, no further points there, so 16.67 total score. In on camp now, 286, Bronwyn Upjohn with Telly. Dan French, you be ready at the gate at 287 with your nomination in True Bet. And number 288, Tim McCarthy with La Storm.
On course for Bronwyn Upjohn and Telly. Telly is by Tell Us Again out of Docs Nikita. He's Mr. Reliable, finaling every weekend. And Bronwyn comes to us from Kilmore. We wish them well. This is competitor number 286, Bronwyn Upjohn and Telly. 287 into the camp, Dan French, True Bet. Stand by, Tim McCarthy, La Storm. Likewise, 289, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down. On course, though, looking for a gate, competitor number 286, Bronwyn Upjohn. And that's how you do it. Score will come through for Bronwyn, riding Telly.
Competitor number 286, Bronwyn Upjohn, with Telly scoring a 20.67 for cutout, 61.33 were the horsework. Another 4 course points there, Bronwyn, give you a grand total 86 points. In on camp now, competitor number 287, Dan French with True Bet. 288, Tim McCarthy, you be ready with La Storm, and number 289, Jamie Gray with a Duck and Down.
On course for competitor number 287, Dan French and True Bet, 11-year-old novice mare. Unfortunately for Dan and True Bet, they can only go away with a cutout score today. $19.33 for you, Dan. Sorry, a little bit slow on the technology there. True Bet and Dan French have a 19.33. We move our attention to competitor number 288, Tim McCarthy, riding La Storm. Stand by 289, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down. 290 will be Kimberley Salmon, Highway to Hell. 291, Caniel Beaches on Stylish Candy. And 292 will be Mary Ventry's Black Betty. So we are watching Kempsey competitor, Tim McCarthy, competitor number 288, riding Ken McCarthy's entry, La Storm. La Storm is a multiple open Campdraft winner. She's ridden by the whole family. She has indeed placed second in the Canning Downs up at Warwick. Tim came down with his family and enjoys the sport of camp drafting across the weekend with all of his family, wife and lovely children. We'll get to see as the weekend goes on. On course proper though, this is Tim McCarthy riding La Storm on behalf of his dad, Ken McCarthy. Into the camp, Jamie Gray, 289 on Duck and Down. Standby 290, Kimberley Salmon on Highway to Hell. 291, Caniel Beaches and Stylish Candy.
Last competitor, competitor number 288, Tim McCarthy and La Storm, scoring 21 for cutout, 61.67 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 86.67. 86.67 points there for Tim McCarthy and La Storm. In on camp now, you are watching competitor number 289, Jamie Gray, Duck and Down.
Yeah, and a lovely entry in Duck and Down, owned by Jamie. Duck and Down is by Playboy Roy. Out of that, Acres Destiny mare in Blitz'em Duck. Highly decorated open horse. This is Duck and Down, and Jamie Gray made the trip down from Grantham up there in Queensland. They are competitor number 289. Kimberly Salmon moves into the yard on competitor number 290, riding Highway to Hell. Stand by 291, Kenny L. Beaches on Stylish Candy.
Last competitor, competitor number 289, Jamie Gray and Duck and Down, scoring a 22 point for cutout. 22 points only there, no further points there, Jamie. 22 is what you keep. In on camp now, number 290, Kimberly Salmon with Highway to Hell. Number 291, Kenny L. Beaches, waiting at the gate with Stylish Candy. And number 292, Mary Ventry with Black Betty.
Indeed, this entry is also owned by Jamie Gray, our last competitor. This is Highway to Hell, campaigned here on this occasion by Kimberly Salmon. Highway to Hell is by Jewelry. Out of one hell of a spin. Ridden here by Bow Desert competitor Kimberly Salmon. Kenny L. Beaches 291 on Stylish Candy. They move into the yard. Stand by 292, Mary Ventry and Black Betty. Wyatt Young will be back at hardwired at 293. 294 will be Adam Wheeler, Highland View CO. 295 will be Steve Hart's Buller Mika, and 296 will be Roy and Pete Comiskey. Time. That's time, judges. Thank you. Thanks, Kimberly. We'll have a score for Kimberly Salmon and Jamie Gray's entry, Highway to Hell, very shortly.
Last competitor, competitor number 290, Kimberly Salmon with Highway to Hell, scoring 22.67. Cut out 54 for horsework, another 3 course points there, Kimberly. Grand total 79.67. 79.67 points, Kimberly Salmon riding Highway to Hell. In on camp now, we should have competitor number 291, Kenny L. Beaches with Stylish Candy. Waiting at the gate, 292 will be Mary Ventry with Black Betty, and 293 Wyatt Young. You're riding hardwired.
Outside's the call for Mafra competitor 291, Kenny L. Beaches, riding Stylish Candy. Stylish Candy is a lovely one stylish Pepto mare out of Candace. She's a 6-year-old novice mare, and I think you'll recall with me, Beardy, that this mare was great in that cutout last year. This is competitor number 291, Kenny L. Beaches and Stylish Candy. Into the camp, 292, Mary Ventry, Black Betty. Stand by 293, Wyatt Young, hardwired. Looking for a gate though. This is competitor number 291, Kenny L. Beaches, Stylish Candy.
Last competitor, competitor number 291, Kenny L. Beaches with Stylish Candy, scoring 21 for cutout, 56.67 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 80.67. 80.67 points for Kenny L. Beaches and Stylish Candy. In on camp now, competitor number 292, Mary Ventry with Black Betty. Wyatt Young, you are number 293 with your nomination in hardwired. Adam Wheeler, you are number 294 with Highland and View, Sussex.
On course for 292, Mary Ventry comes to us from Bombala. She rides Mewburn Black Betty, a 20-year-old mare. She's a novice mare, and she was indeed the winner of last year's ladies' winner, Mewburn Bamalam, ridden by Vicky Hiscock. Unfortunately, though, for Mary today and Black Betty, they go out with a cutout score only of 19.66. Mary Ventry and Black Betty. We've seen him before and we'll see him again. This is competitor number 293, Wyatt Young. On this occasion, he rides a nomination for Peel Tribe. This is Hardwired. Heading out onto the course proper, Wyatt Young and Wired rather. Into the camp, 294, Adam Wheeler. 295, standby Stephen Hart on Bulla Mika. 296, Pete Comiskey will ride Nashvale Royal Destiny. 297, Luke Cheney, Ward's Braveheart. 298 will be Terry Hall, Hazelwood Composer. 299, Brett Staines Jack. And 300 will be David Murphy's and Shalani Tempo. That'll round out this 100 before we have a drag. And he's done it again. That's Wyatt Young riding Hardwired. We'll have a score for you shortly, Wyatt and Hardwired, owned by Peel Tribe.
Last competitor, competitor number 293, Wyatt Young, riding Hardwired, scoring 21.33 for cutout, 60.67 for horsework. Another 4 course points, grand total 86 points. 86 points there for Wyatt Young with Hardwired. Competitor number 294, Adam Wheeler with Highland View Sioux. Number 295, Cindy Barnes and Bulla Mika. And number 296, Pete Comiskey riding Roy.
On course for competitor number 294, Adam Wheeler riding Highland View Sue. For Adam Wheeler and Megan Nankovis's nomination. Sue is an 8-year-old mare by Bald Hill Sizzler. But today, Adam, we can offer you a 19.33 for cutout, 19.33 for Adam Wheeler and Highland View Sue. Into the camp, 295, we have Stephen Hart riding Bulla Mika. Steve will be followed by 296, Pete Comiskey on Roy. 297, Luke Cheney, standby on Ward's Braveheart. Working in camp now, this is Stephen Hart riding his entry, Bulla Mika. A novice horse, 7-year-old quarter horse mare out of Angel Spin by Smooth as a Cat. Stephen comes to us from Gugong. We wish them well as they head around that first peg. We'll go on with competitor number 296 next, Pete Comiskey and Roy. 297 will be Luke Cheney, Ward's Braveheart. 298, Terry Hall on Hazelwood Composer. 299, Brett Staines Jack. And the last one before the drag will be 300, David Murphy and Shalani Tempo. Looking for a gate now, though. This is competitor number 295, Stephen Hart and Bulla Mika. Thanks, Steve. Score will come through for Steve Hart.
Last competitor, competitor number 295, Stephen Hart with Bullamaika, scoring a 20.67 for cutout, 59.33 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total of 83 points. 83 points there for Stephen Hart and Bullamaika. In on camp we should have competitor number 296, Peter Comiskey riding Roy. Waiting at the gate, number 297, Luke Cheney. You be ready with Ward's Brave Heart, and Terry Hall. You are number 298 with Hazelwood Composer. 299 will be Brett Staines with Jack, and number 300, David Murphy with Chalani Tempo.
Yeah, Nebo competitor we watch, Pete Comiskey riding Roy. Roy is by Acres Destiny and out of Bangtail Royale. Open horse owned there by Pete and Bryony. We'll have a score shortly for you, Pete, for Pete Comiskey and Roy. 297, Luke Cheney is in the camp riding Ward's Braveheart. Noel Cheney's nomination. Terry Hall standby on Composer. Likewise 299, Brett Staines Jack, and 300, David Murphy Shalani Tempo.
Last competitor, competitor number 296, Pete Comiskey riding Roy, scoring a 22-point cutout, 62.67 worth of horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 88.67 points. 88.67 there for Pete Comiskey and Roy. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 297, Luke Cheney with Ward's Brave Heart. Terry Hall, your number 298 with Hazelwood Composer. Just roll your book back a bit. Competitor number 295, Stephen Hart with Bullamaika. Score update, Had a camp score of 20.67, horsework of 58.33 and a course 3. Grand total 82 points there. 82 points for Stephen Hart and Bullamaika. You are watching outside now. Mr. Luke Cheney is competitor number 297, Ward's Brave Heart. In on camp we have 298, Terry Hall, Hazelwood Composer, number 299, Brett Staines and Jack, and number 300 will be David Murphy with Chalani Tempo. And then we'll have a brief break once again. We'll just rake and roll the ground, keep these facilities in the ever tremendous condition that they're in, and then we'll get straight back into it at 3:01 with Louise Comiskey. Last competitor, competitor number 297, Luke Cheney with Ward's Brave Heart. Scoring 21 for the cutout, 61.33 for the horsework, another 4 course points there, Luke, 86.33. 86.33 points for Luke Cheney's Ward's Brave Heart.
On course for Gundawindi competitor, Terry Hall and Hazelwood Composer. Unfortunately for Terry, they don't get to build much today. Go away with a cutout score only of 22. 22 points for Terry Hall and Hazelwood Composer. We move our attention to competitor number 299, Brett Staines riding Jack, standby 300, David Murphy and Shalani Tempo. Righto, working his beast now. This is competitor number 299, Brett Staines, riding Jack. Jack is a 10-year-old novice horse by Glencoe Last Word. Brett was the GCA runner-up maiden rider in 2020 and the GCA maiden rider in 2022. They have come to us from Clermont. We wish them well. This is Brett Staines and Jack, competitor number 299. And our final competitor before the drag and the break will be number 300, David Murphy and Shalani Tempo.
Last competitor, competitor number 299, Brett Staines with a Jack scoring 21 for cutout, 62.33 with a horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 87.33. 87.33 for Brett Staines and Jack. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 300, David Murphy with Shalani Tempo. At the conclusion of David's run, we will have a brief break and roll and rake this magnificent surface here at Willinga. So if you need a slight break, want to grab some food or a drink, your opportunity is just about to arrive. Bad luck there, unfortunately, for David Murphy. He goes out with a no score. So when the camp is clear, we will have the tractors. So, yeah, once the cattle clear the arena, can we have the horses and competitors off the arena, and then we will rake and roll that surface. We'll have a short 5 or 10 minute break, and we will be back very shortly.
Back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Well, we're here with the legendary Vicky Evans. G'day, Vicky. How are you this morning? You got a run on the board?
I have got a run on the board and I'm very relieved.
So you've come all the way down from Nabiac with just the one horse. Can you tell us about your horse?
He's a stallion by Acres Destiny and out of a lovely black mare that I bred and rode and competed on successfully for many years called Parkhouse Classic.
And he has had a run and he's got his first score. Is that a relief?
Huge relief. Huge relief.
And is this your first time here at Willinga?
Yeah.
And what's your thoughts on the venue?
Oh, I expected it to be fantastic and it's exceeded my expectations. It's incredible and I've only seen bits of it. You wait till I have a bigger look around later.
Well, good luck for the second round and hopefully we'll see you going through to the semi-final. All right, Dan Steers here with Steve Hart. Steve, you haven't had a run yet. How many horses have you brought down?
We've got 4 in the event, Dan.
You've got 4 here and I've heard you've been here to every single one.
Yeah, it's a great concept, great facility, and just great cattle. Got to keep coming back.
Yeah. And when you're looking at your 2 rounds here going into a clean slate final, have you got a strategy in mind?
Not really. It's just the same as when you go to a normal draft, bring it up the left side or right side and 22 and we'll go from there.
And for all the guys that are watching on TV, when it comes to cattle selection, have you got any tips?
It's one that you sort of want to take home, one that will bend off you, one that's got a bit of a kind face, or is bred someone's taken a bit of time to breed them like these cattle at Willinga.
There you go. You heard it here first, guys. That's the selection to pick a great cow, and hopefully Steve can have a bit of luck with his cattle, and we'll see you in the final.
Thank you, Dan, and thanks to Willinga.
Dan Steers here with Rob Leach. You've just had a run, Rob. How did you go?
Yeah, just ran an 89, mate. Yep, good.
Well, that's got to be one of the leading scores for this morning. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's a good start. I can build on that. This is a catch ride, belongs to Ben Rossiter, so I wasn't real sure of how we were going to go with it and get along. I've had her for a few days at home, just trimming her up a bit, and I wasn't sure, but yeah, got it done. She was really good for me, and cattle were good. So yeah, ground's good, everything's good. And
how many horses do you have here in total?
I only just bought 4, so I've got this mare, I've got my Colt Congressman. Pillvale Truce, who also won the Classic on, and another little gelding by One Stylish Pepto. It's pretty handy. Yeah.
Well, that's good. You've got to be excited to have your first round getting an 89. Is there any strategy involved when you got to think about a clean slate final in the semi-final? No, not really. Every run's the same for me now. I just try and be accurate. Like, don't try to do anything special, just try and put them around. And the more accurate I am, like, just don't make any mistakes. If I do my job, I feel as though my horses are good enough to join the dots for me. And all I've got to do is get lucky and draw cattle. And if I'm accurate, I should be in the hunt. Well, that's great. It's great that you've got your first run on the board. Good luck with the rest of the show here. Thanks, mate.
They all call me Macca. We just drag in the arena at the minute, and what we try and do is get a bit of water on first, and then I drag it with this drag we specially made here with at Willinga, yep. And then the roller just runs down and presses it down.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Nice. How long have you been doing this for?
I've been involved here with Willinga for a few years now. Yep. I got involved with the upgrade. We widened the arena and improved the surface and got it all sorted, and they can't get rid of me now. I'm still here.
What's your favourite bit working outdoors doing all this? What gets you up in the morning to do all this?
Oh, look, I've done it for a long time. I've been earth moving contractor since '87, and
yep.
And and I love the sport of Campdraft, and so it's sort of a bit of a no-brainer. I understand moving dirt.
Yeah.
I wasn't real good at school, so I had to go and play in the dirt.
Yeah. Do you have a hot tip? Who's going to take this out?
Oh, well, like I was only saying to someone yesterday, could be out of, honestly, could be out of 50 blokes, or women as well.
Yep.
Like, there's some such good competitors. You can rattle off just name after name. All the heavy hitters that you want to name are here.
Yep.
From down south of Victoria, up to Queensland, up in the middle of Queensland, all over New South Wales. They're from everywhere. They're all here, and all going for the 100.
That's brilliant. Tell me about these trees. Whose idea was that?
The committee decided to make it a bit nicer. It's a bit better than the bollards, I reckon. It looks good, It's pretty polished, isn't it? They run the at at the Sydney show, they run like they have pine trees. Like, you know, I think it looks pretty special, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for having a chat. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate.
Cut away, Steve.
Okay.